Hey, welcome to Aussie Online Growing on Shopify. My name's Rachel, and this is episode 116. And it's called something like Get More Website Traffic in 2025, my top priority for this year. Something like that, which is basically an episode about I want to share with you today ways that I am driving traffic in 2025 to my website. Getting more website traffic is my top priority for 2025, and it's on both fronts. My e-commerce store, I feel like when I talk about it, I talk about getting more website traffic, which is like potential customers and users and people to visit my website. When I think about my podcast and my service-based business, which is looking after clients in their Facebook ads and email marketing, then I say leads, getting more leads, getting more people to my website, getting more leads, getting more people to decide to book a discovery call with me. And obviously, how clearly this topic resonates to me is my top priority for 2025 is lead generation. Then this means more leads for you. Leads as in people to your website or people to book some sort of call or come to you, book a service or show up to your clinic or something like that. That is my top priority for 2025. Like, I'm sold out to it. This is absolutely a priority, and I want to share with you why. Taking control of driving traffic to your website doesn't happen by magic. It's your responsibility as a business owner. And whether that's through promotions or incentives or anything like that, this is a key function in your business when it comes to marketing. Like, absolutely, as a marketing first business owner. Susan Bradley, who I listen to every podcast she ever puts out, she's incredible. She's from Canada. Her podcast is called, what's it called? The E-commerce Roadmap. If you're looking to follow somebody else on Spotify and you haven't heard of her, she often talks about, as online business owners, we need to be marketing first. Marketing first. And that's because this is our responsibility. Nobody finds our website by accident. It's a result of the work we put into marketing our business. So here we go with this long episode. Let me see how much I can get through in this first snippet. I'll probably split this episode into two. And I've got notes here. I'm going to have to look at my notes a lot. I'm sorry if you're watching on video because I've just typed so many pages of them to share with you. I'm going to put up a graphic as well, which will show you what my wall calendar looks like this year. I've got a big wall planner on my wall. I'm looking at it now as I'm sitting here and recording. And I want to draw your attention to all of the little boxes you can see down the left-hand side. If you're not watching on video and you're just listening to audio, I have a little box next to each month that's down the left-hand side of my wall calendar. And each of those boxes has some sort of lead generation activity inside it. So a promotion, an incentive, a project, something I am doing proactively to get more people to my website for that month. Because more people to our website, more sessions means more people come back again and again and add to cart and shop. And we know that people who come to your website often in a smaller window of time are more likely to buy, which is why email is so powerful as well. If you can reach out every week and then you can reach out a couple of times a week to a smaller segment that's engaged, you've got a far better chance of seeing revenue from that effort, because people who come to your website often in a small period of time or a small window are more likely to buy. So all of these lead generation activity I'm talking about with you today is related to my e-commerce store, just my e-commerce store, my Shopify store, and it's all about getting people back to my website more often. That's what I'm trying to do with these promotions or these incentives that are all listed down the side of the left-hand side of my calendar. So why am I doing this? Because as a small online business owner trying to grow a brand or a business like you are, which is an actual asset for our family, the number of eyeballs you need to get on your content and your products is much higher than you think it is to reasonably expect a number of conversions at the end to equal a salary for you as a business owner and for your family. Many of my episodes last year, which I will actually list them to, I'm going to go into those shortly, just so you know which episodes to go back and listen to. Many of my episodes last year was around the concept of lead generation and growing the group of warm leads or potential customers to discover your brand, get to know your brand and trust your brand. And then you then start to nurture them through email, maybe organic social media, paid social media, live events or promotions or special offers. You nurture them towards becoming a customer for the first time. Hey, get 50% free from me at the moment. You can get a value of $200 free from me if you book yourself a discovery call before the end of February 2025. We need to plug the leaky bucket, and we're doing that because if you run paid ads, then I wanted to give you a special bonus add-on valued at $200, which is added to your Meta Ads Management package. And that value added is a Klaviyo pop-up. Either I'll build it for you or I will review the one you already have. I worked with some clients in 2024, and one thing that was really common that I was stoked to be able to help them with was many of them didn't have a pop-up, or they didn't have a high converting pop-up, and they were missing out on the traffic that we were driving with paid ads. There was no opportunity for people landing on their website to then make the decision to jump on an email list if they weren't ready to buy yet. So if you are driving targeted traffic with paid ads, and if I'm going to drive traffic for you with paid ads with a 30-day management window, it's just 30 days, you're not locked into any contract. I wanted to offer this as a special bonus. Then I want to give you this offer as a special bonus for free that's worth $200 on top of your Meta Ads Management package. And that's a Klaviyo pop-up. I want to work on your pop-up or build one for you from scratch if you haven't got one. This is such valuable work. Email marketing made up 36% of my revenue through the whole of 2024 in my own e-commerce store. So I know the value this is. So head to my website today and book yourself a free discovery call. You can put it straight in my calendar for 20 to 25 minutes. We'll just chat for a little bit about your business, and I want to see where your business is at and the very next thing you are trying to achieve in your marketing to get you more traffic, more good sessions, more good quality engaged users, more initiate checkouts and add to carts, more customers, and a better high converting email list, which starts with a really great pop-up before the end of February, and then you'll take advantage of this special 50% added value offer on top of the Meta Ads Management package. Back to the episode. Through 2023, I ran a giveaway every month for the whole year, which was my lead generation activity. I had other promotions built in as well throughout 2023, but my main one was a giveaway I ran through the whole year. The giveaway was a combination of paid ads and email marketing. Do you know that list of people that I acquired through 2023, when I look at that cohort of people who joined my newsletter list, who joined my, Shopify brand world and ecosystem, they converted at 10%. 10% across a 6-month window. That group of leads that I collected on social media through a paid ads and then nurtured them through email converted at 10%. 10% in e-commerce is phenomenal, like amazing. Like I was stoked with that result. And if you got a result like that too, you should stop now and go celebrate and have a little party and congratulate yourself as well. I was really, really thrilled that that group of leads I collected through the whole year converted at 10%. And that was sort of my main lead generation activity I did through 2023. But for the 6 months early 2024, I neglected lead generation almost completely. I hardly did anything towards lead generation. And I think it became one of those things where you take it for granted until it's gone away. You don't realize how good it was. I'd stopped lead generation as an active part of the work I did every day in my business through a lot of 2024, probably 6 months out of 2024. And then into that 6 months, as I wasn't really doing anything, I started to see the effects, the negative effects. And I thought, wow, okay, my metrics, some of my key metrics are really suffering here. I can't believe how important lead generation really was until I jumped back on. Then I started actively doing lead generation again around July last year, which I share in heaps of my episodes. I shared that in stacks of my episodes. I was actively back to lead generation again. One of the key metrics that really highlighted to me how badly my lead generation was suffering and affecting my business was my returning customer rate. In Shopify, when you look at reports and your analytics, you can pull one of the metrics, or it probably appears by default. It's pretty important. You want to know what your returning customer rate is. So go look at your Shopify dashboard now and tell me what your returning customer rate is. If it's low, that's great because it means you have lots of opportunity for untapped revenue, particularly through email marketing and some paid ads you could be doing now this year to build that and to build that percentage. It should hover around 30 to 40%. Even 25% is good. I think anything above 25% is good. If you have a returning customer rate around 25% or higher, that's great. But mine was far too high, like way too high. Mine was 80%. 80%, which initially you might think is great, but it's not great at all because I was exhausting my current cohort of customers. They had spent everything they possibly could. They were broke. They were like, Rachel, we can't buy anything else from you. So my returning customer rate was too high. I needed more new customers because my poor customers who'd been around for a long time were shopped out. Like I was going to fatigue that group of people over a period of time. They were inevitably going to drop off because everybody does. I needed new customers. I needed to bring that returning customer rate down. That's where I knew my lead generation was a key activity I needed to be concentrated on for the whole of 2025, which is why it's become my main focus this year. Is I need to be constantly getting my brand out there and finding new people, new eyeballs, new users, new people to come to my website for the first time and to begin that know, like, trust factor journey with me to be able to become a customer. And then first time customers become returning customers over time. So this year, that is why it's become my top priority, is because that returning customer rate is the big red flag to me that my lead generation activity I had fallen by the wayside in 2024 was starting to impact my business like negatively. So I encourage you to listen to these episodes next. If you want to go and listen to some episodes all about lead generation and why it's so important as a growing online business, then here is a list for you to go back and listen to. Maybe save this episode, then you can always go back and find these other ones later on as well. Number 86 is called Shopify e-commerce lead generation case study. Get more customers. That's episode 86. Episode 92, my e-commerce steady growth umbrella strategy. That's episode 92. Episode 93, customers don't magically appear. It's a result of your consistent work. That's episode 93. Episode 94, get more website traffic. That's episode 94. Episode 102, refresh your pop-up, your Klaviyo pop-up for Black Friday 2024 for a revenue strategy. So that's episode 102. Episode 106, pay attention, my current struggles in my Shopify e-commerce store. Episode 106. And episode 109, your promotion calendar 2025. Get more website traffic next year. Episode 109. You can see it's become a real focus for me lately in growing my own e-commerce store and obviously growing it towards sustainability and not worried that as my long-standing, amazing, beautiful, loyal customers start to drop off, which inevitably happens, that then I haven't got new customers coming through the door. I've got a photo here. Like I said, you can see the photo of my wall calendar that shows you all of the promotions down there on the left-hand side in little boxes next to each month of specific strategies or initiatives or promotions I'm running to driving leads. I need more leads, which means more first-time customers, which then become returning customers, because that's obviously how my business goes. Like I don't need to work anymore on returning customers in my business, really. The percentage is there to reflect that work is doing well. Like my 80% returning customer rate shows that I have a good returning customer rate. I'm obviously doing enough anyway in the other efforts as part of growing my business for my family and for an income for myself here in Australia is paying off. I need to now turn my attention to filling the top of that marketing funnel. I need to broaden that marketing funnel at the top, and I need more people to be piled into the top of that funnel. I'm sure you're all familiar with a marketing funnel and what it looks like. It's literally an inverted triangle, and you need to be piling more people into the top of that funnel than you realize to equal sales at the bottom and a revenue and a salary and a livable wage at the bottom of that funnel. You need to be piling in more people at the top. I have enough people converting at the bottom again and again as far as returning customers to not worry about that this year. I need more effort at the top of that funnel to get me more of those first time customers. So everything down the left-hand side of this calendar in those squares is my lead generation activities to get more top of funnel traffic, more good quality traffic, and potential customers, potential leads to my website. Websites, plural, really. Could talk about my podcast as well. But this whole calendar on my wall and all the efforts I'm talking to you about today are just in my e-commerce store. These are not all promotions or discounts either. And I talked about this in an episode last year, which I just shared with you, which was episode 109, episode 109. In that episode, all of these things I'm doing, these initiatives, are not just promotions and discounts. Some of them are, but they're not all that. They are marketing exercises to get people to know who you are and to learn about your business and to get them to your website, to then come back to your website again and again and again. I'm going to share them with you in order of importance. So in the episode last year, 109, I didn't share these with you in any particular order of importance. But today I've split them out. I want to dive deep into a few of them in order of importance to my business. These are in order of the impact they have to my e-commerce store, so that I can really give you a better picture of the strategy behind this and why it's my top priority for this year. I hope this gives you some encouragement to do something similar for your own business as well. Like, I hope one of these you can latch onto and do for yourself this year as well, and really put some effort into one of these areas that will be, even if you think about my last episode, 115, building a bridge, that you can see you start a bridge and then see it through to completion. All of these obviously actually involve some sort of advertising dollars too. Like, decide yourself your advertising budget for this year. Just Susan Bradley, I talk about her a lot. She's my favorite podcast producer. She has a podcast called The E-commerce Roadmap, and she often talks about this, like, set an advertising budget on Meta and it becomes your rent. Think about it as your shop front rent. If you were in a shopping center, and maybe some of you are in a shopping center, then you would have a rent to pay. Like, just set aside a budget that becomes your advertising budget, and it becomes your rent that you just pay. That becomes, like, you need to have that there as a basic amount that is a business expense to get people to find you, to get that traffic that you aren't going to get because you're not in a store, you're online. The first one is, I can do the first one, I think, in this episode, and then I reckon I'll do a part 2. Subscription box launch. I am launching my subscription box twice this year. I did it twice last year as well. So I run a closed cart model for my subscription box, which means the cart only opens up a couple of times a year through a specific window of time when I'm launching it. And I do work in the lead up to, lots of work in the lead up to the launch. And then the cart is open for a week. This is my top priority for this year, as far as new first-time customers, first-time subscribers, and on the whole, it lifts the visibility of my brand massively by doing this work in launching my subscription box for these 2 periods through 2025. During the build-up phase of 4 weeks, I'll be encouraging people to join the waitlist. They'll be the first to snag their first subscription box, to become a subscriber for the first time before everybody else gets the opportunity. So my work for 4 weeks on social media and in ads will be building that wait list. This includes there's a bonus for people who join for the first time if they join in the first 48 hours of the cart being open. So there's a bit of FOMO there. So you're on a wait list to begin with, as something you might be interested in doing. And then when the cart opens, if you join and get your first box in the first 48 hours the cart is open, there's a special bonus gift. And also, if you do something like this, please make sure you give all your existing subscribers the same gift just by default, because they've been with you anyway. It's like when with your insurance company, how over time the price goes up. But if you jump ship to a different insurer, they give you a special discount. And then your current insurer is like, why didn't you stay with us? And you're like, well, because if you're a new customer, you get a special discount. So I'm going to swap to somebody else. How much better would it be if your insurer that you're with now, their special new member discount applied to you as well? How happy would you be to stay with them? So if you have a subscription box and you want to launch this year and do a special bonus or a special sign-up bonus, make sure you give that same thing to your existing subscribers by default to keep them with you. It's a really great thing to do. And don't not do that, because you'll have some very unhappy subscribers. During this lead up and this building the waitlist as well, I'll do a Facebook and YouTube lives in the lead up to, always talking about joining the waitlist. I'll have lots of social media about joining the waitlist. In addition to during open cart week, I'll do 3 lives during open cart week. I'll try and do 5. Last year I think I did 4 lives one week, and then the next time I did an open cart, I only did 2. I just couldn't find the energy the second time around. But I've planned it out this year, I think better. So I'm hoping I've got some better energy reserves this year to do a live on Facebook and on YouTube every day for 3 days during open cart week. During those lives, I'll unbox the latest box. I'll show previous boxes like a stroll down memory lane, celebrate new subscribers who've joined, plus other cute stuff as well. There'll be a heavy organic social media presence. I'll have lots of posts scheduled out about the waitlist and then also about the cart being opened during the launch, and also Facebook ads and Instagram ads as well that will help me build the waitlist initially and then drive conversions during the open cart week. The outcome of this activity, so this is my top one this year for a reason. The outcome of this activity of doing a subscription box launch twice this year is all this activity gets my website traffic up massively. Like I will see an increase in my website traffic during the waitlist building time and during the open cart. I expect to see an increase of at least, I should have looked at from last year, 100% probably. I expect it to pretty well double the sessions to my website during a period of time when the cart is open for sure. It's lots of exciting things for me to talk about then as well. There's heaps going on with my brand. There's lots going on social media, lots going inside my Facebook group, lots of things on ads as well, lots of things on live to chat about. So there's lots of things for customers to get excited about, to look forward to. It creates a real buzz for my brand when I do a subscription box launch. And my revenue, of course, will be higher because I'm getting new subscribers. But this is one thing you will probably find with any of these initiatives you run is my revenue also increases just from my store. When there's excitement around my subscription box and launching and building a wait list and all that sort of stuff, even just my revenue from things that are not my subscription box will also increase. So I will see a revenue increase as well during this period of time, during the whole waitlist period and the open cart period, from sales that are not related to my subscription box. So it's like a win-win. This absolutely will get me new customers for the first time, new subscribers for the first time. It just gets my brand out there more and it creates a real excitement around a fixed period of time. I think that's why things like this work so well as well. If you think about putting your marketing hat on and you're a marketer, you are the marketer in your business if you haven't got a marketing team or someone to look after it for you. It makes perfect sense that this sort of activity creates a buzz and has elements of FOMO like scarcity, exclusivity, even a promotional aspect with a special bonus product I'll be offering if you sign up in the first 48 hours. It goes away after 48 hours, so there's a time-sensitive component to it. The cart's only open for a week. There's a time-sensitive component. The wait list in the weeks prior that I encourage people to jump on means they've got first dibs. They make sure they stay up to date. They'll be the first with the opportunity to shop if they want to. There's so many little elements here that piece together that creates a real seamless experience for our customers that they don't even know all this work that goes on in the background. Hey, like they wouldn't realize all the work that goes on in the background, but the payoff is there. I know the payoff is there for me to do that twice this year. That's why I'm doing it. And that's why it'll be heavily resourced for that month, the weeks prior and building a wait list, and then when the cart is open as well. So that's my first thing I want to share with you today. I'm going to do a part 2 for this episode. So it may appear straight away back to back, or it may show up next week. It depends how quickly I am in editing the work. So I'll see you guys next time for part 2.